Manchester United are going to qualify for the Champions League. And it comes down to this. 7 games left, tight margins, and one key difference maker. Benjamin Sesko. Because it's not just about goals. It's about what he unlocks in this team. And we are going to break it down in this video right here, right now. We are back. Premier League football is back this weekend, and it feels like it has been forever since we have watched Manchester United play a game of football. And now is the business end of the season. Now, after all of the good work that Manchester United has done, specifically under Michael Carrick, ever since he's taken over, this is it. Now is the moment where you have to go on a run and ensure that you finish, which we now know top 5 will be a Champions League place in England. You have to ensure that you finish in the top 5. But I don't even want top 5. Some people will tell me, Gabe, 5th, 3rd, same thing. For me, it's about sending a message. It's about making a statement that this is not only going to be a good run towards the end of the season to ensure that United qualifies for the Champions League, it's also going to be a run that shows that Manchester United can do some real damage next season, both domestically and in Europe. And there's one player for me who, ever since Michael Carrick has joined Manchester United as the manager, has made a massive difference, albeit oftentimes off the bench, and it's Benjamin Sesko. We all know that Michael Carrick has opted with the front 3 more often than not of Matheus Cunha, Bryan Mbeumo, and Ahmad. And I get it. In a sense, I think he's trying to go for something that's a little bit more fluid. I think he likes the interchanging of all 3, how they can all kind of play in each other's positions. But I want to walk through exactly why I think Benjamin Sesko has earned a starting spot for Manchester United in this final run in this race for the Champions League, because he provides something for this Manchester United side that no other player in the squad, in my opinion, provides. And that's exactly what we're going to walk through right now. So let's focus on this first still here. Benjamin Sesko right now is just about in an offside position. Burnley have moved the line up, and as you can see, they are very deep. They are defending with a line of 5. Very compact, very difficult for Manchester United to break down, and this is where Benjamin Sesko's importance comes into play. The one thing I've noticed with Ben since he's joined Manchester United is, although he is still a very young number 9, he reads the game extremely well, I think he understands when to be patient and when to make those runs into the space. And in this specific moment here in the game, it shows it perfectly what I'm speaking about. So Ben now knows that, okay, they're defending in a very deep block. I have to be patient, but I also have to know when I can make that run in beyond. So you can see he's coming back from an offside position. He is now in front of the back 4. What's important here is he has already read the cue. Bruno is in the half space here, and we all know the quality that Bruno has to play those balls around the corner regardless of who's running onto it. So we get the ball to Bruno in the half space, and Ben has already started to make his move. Ben has already started. Oh, it's got to go the other way. Ben has already started to make this move around the center half because he sees that there is a space to exploit in behind Burnley's back line. Bruno gets on the ball, and we don't have to speak about what Bruno does because we all know what he does. And Ben sees there is a ton of space, and my captain has the ball. And my captain, if there's any player in the Premier League, if there's any player in the world right now who's going to get me this ball, it's going to be Bruno Fernandes. And Ben realizes that. He makes that run in behind. It's an incredible pass in behind from Bruno, and Ben puts the ball in the back of the net. And do players like Matheus Cunha, Bryan Mbeumo, Ahmad have the ability to run in beyond and score goals like this? I would say yes. But do they have the ability to do it consistently? Do they have the understanding of the game that a pure number 9 has? I would have to argue no, they don't. This is in the same game. And again, I just want you guys to focus on the little details in terms of how patient Ben is and the movement. When you think of strikers with elite movement, for me, I think of 2 strikers. I think of Edison Cavani and I think of Cristiano Ronaldo. Both, funnily enough, have played for Manchester United. And again, for me, when I watch these moments back, it shows me why having a real number 9 in the side is such a difference maker. Because look how deep Matheus Cunha is. Look where Bruno Fernandes is. You have Ugarte here, and Ben is making sure. Sometimes when a striker is not getting the ball, they have the tendency to drop into these pockets here, making it sometimes pretty easy because everything's in front of them, in front of the opposition's back line. They don't have to worry about anybody running in behind. Ben does a really good job of keeping the center halves honest because of how patient he is, and he's comfortable staying on that last line. So it's not just about the comfort of staying on the last line. It's one about his speed, his pace, his power, how quick he is from a standstill position to run in beyond. But the movement on this goal is brilliant. The movement on this goal is from a number 9 who has been playing top level football for a decade. So right now it looks like Dorgu is running down the line here, which is great. And it looks like Ben is going to make a run to the far post. But Ben knows that his captain, Bruno Fernandes, is also making this run to the back post. He also knows that the defender that's marking him believes that Ben is looking to go to the back post. So what does Ben do? Because he understands the game so well, instead of making that run to the back post where Bruno has already occupied, he gets in front of the center half, exactly where Dorgu puts the ball. And this is a brilliant finish. Just not only the movement, because the movement is one part of it. You can get yourself into some really good areas on a football pitch, but what does the end product look like? This is what it looks like. Benjamin Sesko with a very difficult finish, to be completely honest with you. It's a brilliant finish. Again, something that doesn't happen without the Slovenian striker on the pitch. When you have a number 9 who's patient enough to stay on the last line, who's quick enough to run and beyond, who has the ability to link up play and bring others into the game, my question would be, why wouldn't you start this player? Why wouldn't you platform this player and give him as many opportunities, as you can? The ball goes out wide. He can get on the end of crosses. United are playing against a deep block. He can be the key to running behind, stretch the defense. And maybe he's not the one scoring, but he has created that space for a Bruno, for a Cunha, for an Mbumo, for an Ahmad to have that little bit more space outside the box and get shots on goal. He offers something that no other player that Manchester United currently has offers. I think it's simple. And are you noticing that Ben just always seems to be in the right moment at the right time? That is not luck. I remember when Cristiano was at the peak of his powers and people would always say, oh, Cristiano scores a bunch of tap-ins. It's not that hard. My question to you would be, well, why isn't every single number 9 in the history of the game just scoring tap-ins? It's about getting to those quiet spaces, as I like to call them, reading the game before things even happen and getting yourself into position as a number 9 where you are setting yourself up to have the ability to take one touch and shoot, or even just shoot first time. And I think Ben really excels at this. So in this still, Bruno, it's always Bruno, isn't it? In this still, it's Bruno making a run down the right channel, and Ben is making this darting run into the 18 because I'm sure he's thinking Bruno is going to fizz this ball right here. I'm going to get on the end of it and score. Well, Bruno actually does a really good job, especially given the pressure that he's under, to get the ball into the 18, but he doesn't exactly get it into that channel where Ben is just going to be able to run onto it and hit it first time. Ben actually has to completely readjust his body. And now Ben is receiving maybe not in the most comfortable position. And it's very easy for a striker in this position who has now had to readjust his run, readjust his hips and his movement to make the wrong next decision. But Ben, especially, I have to mention this again, for a striker of his age, shows often a lot of maturity and a lot of composure. He takes a touch, gets the ball out of his feet, uses this defender as a screen, and he just bends it perfectly around the defender, puts it into a place where the goalkeeper cannot get to it, and he scores another brilliant goal. A goal scorer's goal, a number 9's goal. And this is the last one that I want to show because I think this just epitomizes what Benjamin Sesko offers Manchester United, why he is so crucial. And this was a horrible performance from the entire team, in my opinion. This was obviously when United were playing away at West Ham. And sometimes these games happen. But when you're not playing well, you need your best players to show up and create moments of magic. I always say that football players create solutions, and Benjamin Sesko creates those solutions. So Mbumo here in the wide area, Bruno is making this run. And And he does a really good job of carrying the opposition midfielder. But you can see just how deep, compact West Ham are. Very difficult to break down. But when you have a number 9 who has those instincts to find those little gaps because there's no space, especially when you're playing at the highest level like these guys are, the game happens so fast and you need to be able to create that little bit of separation to even get an opportunity. And Mbumo gets the ball in the box. And look where Ben has started. He sees, again, it's all about cues. And it's really about who is going to get in front of their marker first. And look where Benjamin Sesko is in this picture. And look where he gets across. And not only does he get across, but the composure, the technical ability to one-touch this at such speed, to get it around the keeper, being so tightly marked. This goal doesn't happen without a pure number 9 on the pitch. And Benjamin Sesko is a pure number 9. He is a goal scorer who finds the right pockets, but he's also able to link play, bring players into the game, be strong on holding off center halves, especially when United go long from Le Mans. I've said it before on this channel. I think that this is a player who already has everything in his toolkit to be a very special number 9. And for me, the sky is the limit for Benjamin Sesko. And now it comes down to, what does Michael Carrick want to do? Because we have seen multiple times where Mbumo is in this position here and Ahmad will be on the right side, and then we'll see sometimes them switching. I think Carrick now has to make a decision. We have seen what Sesko provides. We just went through it. And what I really like about Benjamin Sesko is he's not a one-dimensional 9. I hear a lot of talk in modern day football about strikers getting no service. And sometimes as a striker, when you're getting no service, you have to create things yourself. And that's what Ben does. Ben can drop into these pockets here. He's not someone who's just going to stay on the last line and you don't want him dropping because he's uncomfortable playing with the ball at his feet. He is a fox in the box, but he also does have the technical quality for a player of his size to drop in and to connect with the players around him, bring the players on his team into the game. And I think another massive to Benjamin Sesko playing is you have to use a player of his size's ability to your team strength. You have to build around the fact that you have a player that if you are being pressed high, and we know that teams in the Premier League modern day like to press high, you can double up here. You can go long from goal kicks and you can have the confidence that if Le Mans goes long from a goal kick, or if United are being pressed and one of the United center halves have to go long, you can double up here. You can get the ball into Sesko, go long, let him bring it down, get bodies in and around him. You don't always have to build up from the first phase. You can bypass the press, go long, use the fact that you have a monster as your number 9 to go long. He can bring down the ball, and just like that, you have completely bypassed the press, and now you're already in the opposition final third because you have somebody of the physical stature of a Benjamin Sesko. For me, he ticks all the boxes, and for me, he is somebody who I want to see starting more often than not. United have no other games aside from the Premier League. The race for the Champions League is on, and I think Benjamin Sesko is going to play a massive part in it if United are going to finish in, I think, the top 3. But as always, that is just my opinion, and you know I want to hear from all of you. Do you think that a front 3 of Benjamin Sesko plus an Ahmad or Acuna plus a Mbumo or Acuna is the right front 3? Or do you think that Michael Carrick is right in continuously going with the Cunha, Mbumo, and Ahmad? And look, you can't really argue on Michael Carrick. This isn't me saying that Michael Carrick's not making the right decisions, because I have absolutely loved what he's done since he's joined. How could you not? I've mentioned that if it's not Luis Enrique, I want Michael Carrick to be the permanent manager going into next season, because I think, especially if we continue on the run we've been on, if we get top 3, top 4, Leeds next, then Chelsea, then Brentford. Chelsea, obviously a team who is in and around fighting for the Champions League spots. We have Liverpool still to go as well. So there are some difficult games. Brentford is never an easy team to play as well. But for me, United have everything that they need to make sure that they qualify for the Champions League. And obviously that'll be a big boost going into the summer with the transfer signings and all of those things. And obviously when you watch the Champions League, for me, it doesn't feel the same without Manchester United. But that is it for this one. Remember to leave a like on the video if you like it. Subscribe if you really liked it. Hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. The content is only going to continue as we are really at the home stretch of this Premier League season. And yeah, as always, I appreciate everyone for watching. And I'll chat to y'all again very soon. Until next time, peace.